Have you ever looked at your child around the age of 9 and felt that something has shifted, even though nothing obvious has happened? They are still the same child, and yet something feels different. Maybe they've become a little quieter, maybe their questions feel deeper or more serious. Sometimes there's even a slight distance, not in a negative way, but as if they are standing just a little apart from everything that once felt completely familiar. If you've noticed this, you're not imagining it. What you are witnessing is a very real and important developmental moment, often called the 9-year change. Hello and welcome. Today I want to take you gently into this phase because once you understand what is happening within the child, your way of seeing them and responding to them begins to shift in a very meaningful way. Up until about the age of 9, a child lives in a deep sense of connection with the world. There is no strong boundary between themselves and their surroundings. When they hear a story, they don't just listen, they enter it completely. When they play, they are fully immersed. When they engage with nature, they experience it as something they belong to, not something separate from them. There is a quiet sense of oneness in the way they live and learn. And then, slowly, this begins to change. Around the ninth year, the child starts to experience something new within themselves. It is not something they can clearly express, but it is deeply felt. For the first time, there is a sense of standing apart. A feeling arises: I am here and the world is out there. This is the beginning of inner separation. It is a delicate moment because the child is not yet fully secure in this new experience. They are no longer completely merged with the world, but they are also not yet fully confident in their individuality. It can feel uncertain sometimes and also unsettling from within. You might notice this as a new seriousness in them or a certain sensitivity that wasn't there before. Sometimes children at this age ask questions that seem surprisingly deep, or they become more aware of things that previously passed unnoticed. Very quietly, an inner question begins to live within them: where do I belong? This is not something they will always say out loud, but it shapes how they feel. And this is why this phase matters so much. Because this moment of separation is not a problem, it is a necessary step in growing up. It is what allows the child to begin forming a true sense of self. It opens the door to independent thinking, to deeper understanding, and to a more conscious relationship with the world. At the same time, the way the child learns also begins to change. Before this age, they learn best through imagination, through stories, through rhythm and repetition. But now, something within them starts to seek a different kind of engagement. They are no longer satisfied with simply hearing about the world. They want to understand it. They want to see how things are connected, how they relate to each other, and where they themselves fit into the larger picture. What they need at this stage is not more information, but a sense of orientation. They need to feel that the world is meaningful, that it is understandable, and that they have a place within it. And most importantly, they need the adults around them to meet this change with awareness and steadiness, not by rushing to explain everything, and not by dismissing what they are going through, but by being quietly present, by listening, by observing, by holding a sense of trust in this process. Sometimes, as parents, this phase can feel like a small loss of closeness. It can feel as though the child is moving away. But in truth, something much deeper is happening. The child is not moving away from you, they are beginning to move towards themselves. And your role is gently shifting from being the center of their world to being a guide who walks beside them as they begin to discover it in a new way. So, if your child is around this age and you sense this quiet change, allow yourself to pause and really see them. Because beneath the surface, something very important is unfolding. A child who once experienced the world as one with themselves is now beginning the lifelong journey of understanding who they are within it. And that is a profound beginning. In our next episode, we'll explore how to recognize this change more clearly in your child and how you can support them through it with confidence and calm. Until then, stay present, stay observant, and trust the wisdom of this stage.